Hey guys, how's it going? I want to talk about my my potato garden and the reason why I have this video going out. You know, us creators, when we do something, some people have to take multiple shots to get the right shot. And at the very beginning, Coda, don't touch. At the very beginning, I was talking about how my potato garden, how I grew it, everything about my garden. Well, when I come in, you know, garden's done, you come in, you edit the video. Well, at the very beginning, I'm at deleting things I didn't need, and I hit the button one too many times, and I deleted this scene that I needed to show you what my garden looked like. It's gone. So I'm going to tell you what it was, and then the video takes off. So anyway, my potato beds. I've never done this before until last year. Last year I did the roof stout method. Absolutely loved it. And what that method is, you mound up dirt. It can be a big round mound. It can be a straight mound. It can be a horseshoe mound. Whatever kind of mound you want to do. All right. Amend your soil. Get that right. Put your potatoes right on top. Cover them up, water them, and leave them alone. You're done. I loved them. The first time I ever grew potatoes that good. Wasn't trying, and I got 42 pounds last year. So this year we're going to do it again. I don't need to be growing a huge amount of potatoes because you can't store potatoes for a real long time. Makes sense to try to get, I like to try to get 50 pounds or 60 pounds, but that'd be the max. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, let's talk about my potato bed. Like I said, at the end of this video, you're going to see how much hay was in my mounds, okay? And then the process, what happened over last late summer, fall, spring, and then now. All right, after I pulled my potatoes last year, all that straw hay that was there, I just put back on top of my mound. And then I went and got my garden chicken coop, all of the chicken waste, which I mean the hay, the chicken poop, all that, and I just spread it all the way across the whole thing. And I watered it in there, wet it down really good. And I let it sit, and actually we had a wet late summer last year. So after, I think it was maybe, I'm going to just go to October's time. I went and got my rototiller, and before I even start, that bed out there, it's a large bed, is an underground Hugelkutur bed. It's about 18 inches deep, 18 to 24 inches deep. It's full of lumber, not lumber, full of wood, all kinds of stuff. Okay, now my mound for my potatoes, I mound up, I'm treating, it is part of the Hugelkutur, but I'm amending the soil up there. And so what I did was I watered down really good. I got my rototiller out, and I lightly went across it to kind of break up all that stuff that I put on there for the last couple months and let it sit. And then, of course, I'm cutting my grass. I bag it always to get all my, whatever I need, my nutrients. I bag leaves and grass. That grinding noise is Coda eating a ball. Hear it? Anyway, so I laid that all on top of my potato beds and let that sit to probably sometime maybe in the area of could be close to the first of the year time frame. And I went ahead and tilled that in also again. Then I went and got all my compost that I get from the birds once more, and I completely consumed the top of that beds all the way through and put straw hay on top. And I let that sit completely. I wet it down really good, and we've had kind of a wet spring this year. So it's been sitting there getting wet. It's breaking down a little bit, and until, you know, when I did this video, I went ahead and I brought my tiller back out again, and I'm just trying to break up the top, the surface part of it, not dig deep. I want that stuff to be down the bottom, stay there. So I dug up the top just a little bit, got that all straightened out. I brought soil from my garden, good soil that I used. I took a scoop of that with my tractor and just spread it right across the whole thing. And then I went and got that compost that I got from the city, and I spread that all the way across the whole thing again. Then I took my pitchfork and pitchforked it in. Just spun it all up, and then you see the video from right here, what it looks like. Now, let's talk about the soil on your potatoes. Your soil for your potatoes have to be a draining soil. You don't want clay, like a lot of things, because it rots it and you can't get a good disease. You'll rot your potatoes Also, you're going to want your pH level somewhere in the area between 6.0 and 6.5, 6.6 max, in that area, your soil. When you go to amend your soil, if you're not doing what I did with all this composting, you definitely want to go and put in some kind of a fertilizer at the beginning and mix it in a little bit. And I would go with a 15-15-15 straight across the board. Get that in there in that soil, and then for me, I just plant my potatoes on top of the soil, as you see in the video. Okay, at that point, for me, what I do is I go ahead and now spread a thin layer back up. Now, I have been watering in the soil really good for like 2 days. Come out the garden hose, I'm always watering. I want that soil to be wet. So when I put straw hay on it and wet the straw hay, it's just not the straw hay staying wet. I want that whole mound to be wet again. Put the straw hay on top lightly, and you can literally still see some of the potatoes in there, and I wet that down as a process. So I wet that whole strip down, then I layered it again, and I wet that straw hay down again. I wanted that moisture to be down in that hill within that straw hay. Straw hay is very dry. I mean, it will absorb the water and it dries out quick, so you want that whole mound to be wet inside. And then I put the final on this time on top, all the hay all the way across, and I wet it down again. Now, here's the deal. After about, say, 2 months of growing, potatoes also like high nitrogen. Okay, I would probably put, I've only seen like a 2500 or a 2200. Now, I am not one to go run all these stores to find the highest. I don't like ordering online. Hey, it's just me. That's the way I am. I try to use what I have, and I find what I got there, and then I'm heading home. So you want to probably put like a high nitrogen. First number you want up, as high as you can get it, and then sprinkle in your mound and water it. You know, I would move the hay a little bit, sprinkle around. Do not put it on top of the potatoes. You'll burn your potatoes. So then you're back to watering as you normally do. However whatever you're doing for your watering. After about 2 months, then you may want to change up your fertilization a little bit, and you may want to go with somewhere. I would go like I don't know. I think I've seen like a 15-2-2, something in that neighborhood. First number is going to be high, and then the next one's be 2-3, 3-3, or 4-4. Somewhere in that area, I think you'll be fine for your fertilization on your potatoes. And get that in, water them in, and you're doing good. So basically, with the straw hay, as it's growing, when you see the plant coming through the straw hay, I usually wait till it gets probably about 6 inches tall, and then I throw straw hay on top again. The more straw hay you're doing, you're trying to make that plant grow up and out of this mound, the more growth of potatoes you're growing in that mound, in that area. So basically, all year long, I probably put on another bale of hay to maybe 2 bales of hay that goes on there. So that mound could approach to be maybe up to 2 foot tall high, your plant in the mound. But when you pull all that back, the growth is beautiful. Yeah, I've never had it before. This year I'm going to really pay attention to it a lot more, and so we'll see what happens. So from here on out, the video is going to take over. I hope that's informational. And once again, this video is for Shedwars 22 Northern Hemisphere Global Gardening. It's tip in how I grow my potatoes, the root stout method. All right, here's my potato beds. I did mix all that new composting I got from the city. You can see it's black. Last night I wet this all down, and this morning I've been wetting it down. And then about 5 days ago, I went ahead and cut in half my potatoes, split the seeds, just cut them all up all in half. So I've got about 30 of them here, I think. So we're going to go ahead and lay out 30 in here, and we'll get these done. All right, okay, I got the potatoes in. I have a total of 30 that I've cut in half. And here we go. I've been watering this down really good. This whole area is getting watered. I did last night, and I'm doing it again right now. And there we go. Next thing I'm going to do is I've got my hay. I'm going to lay my hay on top. I never bury my potatoes. I just stick them, lay them right on top. Look. There they are. I just take them, plant them, and push them just a little bit, and I leave them alone. Now I'm going to lay my hay on top, and then I'll water it in real good. Okay, I'm showing you, I'm layering this lightly. You can still see the potatoes, okay? We're doing a light covering of this hay. And you see, we're just gonna get this nice and wet, and I'll cover it up some more. Okay, as you can tell, I've watered this in lightly, or it's watered in heavily, but lightly spread the hay this time around. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back and get the rest of the hay, or more hay. And all around the edges, as you see, it's all dark right there. Hay, we're going to on both sides, and we're going to mound it up. And I've used that whole bale of hay. It's all watered in real good. You can see it's a good mound all the way through. Nice mounding. And I'm going to say half of that's hay. There you go, guys. Shedwars 22 is going to be a good year. I'm slow starting out of the gate, but I'll be at the end. All right, y'all have a great day. Bye.